Hello, it's quiz time. Thanks for everybody who's joined us to play the quiz. The quiz format is 4 rounds of 10 questions. As I said on the introduction video, it's from YouTube, so you can pause it at any time. The idea being you have pen and paper ready. You play against other people in the house, or if you're just on your own, you can play against yourself. And that's basically it. At 10 o'clock tonight, I'll post the second video, which is a read through of the questions, but I'll give the answers at the end of every question so you can see how well you did or who won the quiz. So here we go. Round 1, general knowledge. Now, you'll see that I'm looking off camera a lot because on the computer, obviously, I've got all the questions to read from there instead of having paper in front of us. So here we go. Number 1, 10 questions on general knowledge. Number 1. Which is the first sign of the zodiac alphabetically? We should all get that, so everybody should at least score 1 right in the quiz. Which is the first sign of the zodiac alphabetically? All right. Number 2. What is the name of the machine commonly referred to as a lie detector? What is its actual name? That's number 2. What is the name of the machine which is commonly referred to as a lie detector? Number 3, one that I think most of you will probably know. Hendrick's is one of the best-selling brands of which spirit? Hendrick's is one of the best-selling brands of which spirit? And number 4, how many golden stars feature on the flag of the European Union? Number 4, how many golden stars feature on the flag of the European Union? So, halfway through this first round. Number 5, of which US state is Harrisburg the capital? I'll spell it. It's Harrisburg. Of which US state is Harrisburg the capital? Number 6, Scrag End is the name for the cut of which type of meat? Scrag End, 2 words, S-C-R-A-G-E-N-D, Scrag End, is the name for a cut of which type of meat? Excuse me. Time for a break. I expect there's at least 1 or 2 others got a bottle there or a glass of some spirits or something nice anyway. Britvic onion, something like that. Number 7. David Lloyd George was a Prime Minister who represented which political party? That's 7. David Lloyd George was a Prime Minister who represented which political party? And number 8, you've got a 50-50 chance for this. Which opened first, McDonald's or KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken? That's number 8. Which opened first, McDonald's or KFC? And number 9, what is the name of the capital of Vietnam? What is the name of the capital of Vietnam? That's number 9. So, number 10, last one of this round. A United States president can be elected for a maximum of how many terms? A United States president can be elected for a maximum of how many terms? That's the last one. So remember, if you missed any, just pause it now, run it back. You know, it's from YouTube, so it's not a problem. I'm going to go on now and do round 2 straight away. If you want to pause it to get another drink or give yourselves each 5 minutes each or something to, you know, look over the answers and take your best guesses if you don't do any. Or possibly go to the loo. You know, I don't know. It's none of my business that, you know. Don't go to the loo if you don't need to go. Just anyway. Round 2. We'll go on with round 2 now. Round 2 is something quite different, actually. I haven't done this in the pubs before, but it is, can you identify the famous song from the opening lyrics? Straight away, when I do number 1, you'll get the idea. Number 1, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. So which song is that? And who did it? Who's the artist or band? So you want both? I'll do it again. Number 1, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. You want to put down the name of the song and the name of the band. Number 2, look at the stars, look how they shine for you and everything you do. What is that song and who sang it? That's number 2. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you and everything you do. What's that song and artist or band? Number 3, streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. That's number 3, streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. Number 4, this hit, that ice cold, Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. That's number 4, this hit, that ice cold, Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Number 5, is it getting better or do you feel the same? That's number 5. Is it getting better or do you feel the same? Remember, it's song and artist. Number 6, coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. That's number 6, coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. 7, I've been drinking, I get filthy when that liquor get into me. Right. Number 7 again, I've been drinking, I get filthy when that liquor get into me. Moving on, number 8, I made it through the wilderness, somehow I made it through. That's number 8, I made it through the wilderness, somehow I made it through. Number 9, like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. That's number 9, artist and song. Number 10, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's number 10, short and sweet. I'm going to make a change for once in my life. There we go. That's drink time again. That's the end of the second round. If you want to pause it now. Or if not, if you're ready to go and fill them all in and you're confident, then we'll go on to round 3. Round 3 is sport. Bear in mind this quiz, by the way, absolutely anybody's playing, including a lot of people who've never been to my pub quiz or possibly any pub quizzes before. So if you think that some of the questions are very, very easy, well, yes, a lot of them are. There are some difficult ones as well. Basically what I'm saying is don't give me a load of grief on my Facebook page about the questions I've chosen, because I'm doing my best. So, right, round 3, sport. Which darts player was known as the crafty Cockney? That's number 1. Which darts player was known as the crafty Cockney? Number 2, how many times did Pete Sampras win the Wimbledon men's singles title? That's number 2. How many times did Pete Sampras win the Wimbledon's men's singles title? And number 3, the Dodgers are a baseball team from which US city? The Dodgers are a baseball team from which US city? That was number 3. Number 4, which horse won the 2020 Virtual Grand National? It just happened last Saturday. Which horse won the 2020 Virtual Grand National? And number 5, England started the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Start again, number 5. England started the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Group G alongside Tunisia, Panama and which other country? 5 again, England started the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Group G alongside Tunisia, Panama and which other country? And 6, how many players are there on a curling team? That's number 6. How many players are there on a curling team? Number 7, which American former boxer competing between 1977 and 2006 was known as the Hitman? What's his actual name? Which American former boxer competing between 1977 and 2006 was known as the Hitman? And number 8, In which sport do teams compete for the Melrose Cup? That's number 8. In which sport teams compete for the Melrose Cup? Number 9. How many concentric circles form an archery target? How many concentric circles form an archery target? That's number 9. Number 10. In which month of the year is the BBC Sports Personality of the Year ceremony? In which month of the year is the BBC Sports Personality of the Year ceremony? That was number 10. And the last one of that round. Again, pause time. If you want to pause it, have a think about them. Get another drink, do whatever you do within reason. Excuse me. It's always gassy drinking out of a bottle, isn't it? Nice though. Headaches for Budweiser. Anyway. Number 1 on the next round, which is the TV and films round. This whole round is of TV and films, and is the final round of the quiz. So, number 1. Who is the current host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who is the current host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And number 2. Which film series had a 4th movie which was subtitled Ghost Protocol? Which film series had a 4th movie called Ghost Protocol? That was the subtitle of the movie. And number 3. Katie Hopkins first became famous. Katie Hopkins first became famous after appearing on which TV show? I'll read it again, properly this time. Katie Hopkins first became famous after appearing on which TV show? That's number 3. Question number 4. Who is the star of the films San Andreas and Rampage? That's number 4. Who is the star of the films San Andreas and Rampage? Number 5. Which famous fictitious detective lived at flat 203 56B Whitehaven Mansions? It's not the one you were expecting, was it? So number 5 again. Which famous fictitious detective lived at flat 203 56B Whitehaven Mansions? Which detective was that? Number 6 then. Which 2002 horror film tells the story of a videotape which appears to cause the death of anyone who watches it within a week? Number 6 again. Which 2002 horror film tells the story of a videotape which appears to cause the death of anyone who watches it within a week? And number 7. What was the name of the fictional... This is actually the first bottle, you know. You wouldn't believe it, but it is. I should start again with number 7. What was the name of the fictional town which featured in the BBC comedy series The League of Gentlemen? 7 again. What was the name of the fictional town which featured in the BBC comedy series The League of Gentlemen? And number 8. Who stars as the superhero in the 2017 film Spider-Man Homecoming? Who plays Spider-Man, basically? Who stars as the superhero Spider-Man in the 2017 film Spider-Man Homecoming? That was number 8. Number 9. Who has been the Channel 4 show Countdown's resident lexicographer in Dictionary Corner since 1992? Who has been the Channel 4 show Countdown's resident lexicographer in Dictionary Corner since 1992? The girl that sits and looks up the best words and stuff, you know. And number 10, in which film did Daniel Craig first play James Bond? That's number 10. In which film did Daniel Craig first play James Bond? Done. Sorted. So that's it. There's 40 questions there. If you're scoring it, you can score it either way. Actually, you can score the music one, 1 point for band and 1 point for the name of song. Or you could score it just 1 point, but you have to get both right. In which case, it's either 40 possible answers to get right or 50, depending on which way you do it. What I'll do is I'll go through these again with the answers on afterwards in a second video, which I'll put on the Ken's Quiz page at 10 o'clock. So, or I mean, you can watch it later, as I say. That's the point of doing it on YouTube. You can pose any of these questions. You can pose at the end of rounds or whenever you want. So, hope you enjoyed it. And I've got to get on now and film the second part, which is the one with all the answers on. I'll probably get just as tongue-tied then. But hope you're enjoying it, and catch you soon. Cheers.